I'd like to go back to Castlevania. Portrait ruined! This portrait, it is ruined. Or perhaps it causes other portraits to become ruined. I don't make a lot of money this video because you only get hearts when you don't have full hearts. This creates a very awkward situation. We don't have full MP because you don't, in this it's MP, but when you don't have full hearts or MP, you get hearts instead of money or drops, which sucks. Because when you're trying to get those SP points in, you don't make. Boo boo. Seal fur boots. Whoa. No, all those hearts. But I need them too because Shuriken is a pretty expensive technique to use. Meaning that I either pay the price or I get the price back. Bullet Punch is pretty good, actually. I think there's actually a stronger version you can get of it later, but for now it'll do. I think it's called Mac Punch? Let's look it up. Bullet Punch. In Castlevania. I hate it when they redirect me to anything but the... Ballora Punch? Really? That's not even what I'm looking for. Yay, I just punched a giant thing to death. Come on, you oaf. You fell down there. Take it! Yep, there is one. It's called the Whip Knuckles. Neat. Kaiser Knuckle. Illusion Fist. Those punches fast enough. Oh, look, it's a secret that gives me health. That's neat. I like that. I'm gonna smile. Ah, this guy's so cool. I kind of fudge and smudge it up. It's pretty easy, but, you know, I'm fudging it up. Like any dragon, you want to fight it with a spear. What is that anyway? Like, every time I see something like Dragon Knight, it's always a spear they use against him. Even Dark Souls 2 had a boss that was like, I have a spear inside me and I'm a dragon. I wonder what that association comes from. Maybe because they fly around and spears are long range, easy to use weapons that any peasant can pick up and use in a couple of hours. I mean, the biggest training you really need with a spear is the weight, and after you get used to the balance, you can start poking things with it. I like how the beat is constantly present in this song. Going in the background. I don't like these guys at all. So you might notice they're also resistant to whip. This means that they are basically Charlotte-only enemies, which is really bullshit. It's a really nice looking sewer, actually. Other than its bland palette, it looks relatively well maintained. I didn't know that Brower/Dracula really liked maintaining up. And there's also a starfish stuck in the pipes. That's pretty hilarious. It's a good beat, though. You can really get into it. And I like how the slime dropped to the floor and just went above the screen. Yeah, the little tipsy-turvy platforms are pretty neat. Pretty neat, and that's just it. They are neat-a-rooney. Hey, we got a straight upgrade. That's always nice. You'll notice that straight upgrade items are actually not that common in this game. There's a lot of, do you want to have intelligence or defense or mind? And it's kind of like, yeah, it's actually pretty neat because it means that I can always sort of fine-tune your equipment. Like, I complain that a lot of this stuff is basically, it's kind of, the two characters sort of mingle too much in that regard. Like, there's too much stuff, but at the same time, at least it's not like here's hundreds of items that all just increase your defense by 1 or 2 points. What are Frozen Shades doing in the sewers? There must be better places to hang out being cold and turning a cold shoulder on your boyfriend. Why are we getting a copper plate? We could have grinded them out of the axe, guys. I think we can buy them, or we got them before, and now we get another one. No, we got a leather plate. You know, either way, you could have gotten them as a drop from axe armors by now. And it's in a really awkward place. Like, they just didn't know what to put. They just said, okay, we just put a copper plate so that at least they'll have some defense. Now, here's an awkward part where you go through this and you're like, oh, yay, we're at the Great Stairway. And immediately after that, you get a cutscene with probably the most anime-looking death you'll ever see. Like, I don't care who you are. This death looks so freaking anime. He's got a huge popped collar. And he has a stupid grin on his face. And he has a giant glowing crystal in his chest. Fun thing, by the way, Death is described as a divine being because he is a force of nature and isn't necessarily a force of darkness. But just look at how anime he looks! Even his costume isn't quite sure what he's supposed to be, since it doesn't really look that evil. It looks kind of meh. It looks very Krogan, actually. Krogans love themselves some popped collars. I fucking thought that was so stupid in Mass Effect. They have all these huge things. I know neck protection is important, but this stops you from using your surround sound hearing, you know? You can't hear an enemy approaching from behind if your popped collar is getting in the way. You can't even turn around and look that direction. That popped collar is very impractical. You might as well wear a helmet and get a semi-popped one, you know? Like, that's how they did old armor. Anyway, bunch of anime. Why did he bring up his father? Because anime rules state that's his only identifying trait, so that's the only thing people are going to bring up all the fucking time. I can bet you that someone comes in, it's his nanny's like, hey, did you know your father's dead? You're not as good as your father. You're gonna have to spend this entire game getting better than your father. Did you know about your father? Your father. Hey, did you know that your only identifying trait is a dead family member you have? Father. What about Charlotte, anyway? Like, she's just a witch, but she doesn't seem to have any character traits so far that are relevant in terms of an arc. She just sort of exists. She's there to make commentary about Jonathan's stylistic choices when it comes to a red jacket. I'm not kidding. Charlotte hasn't really contributed anything but just saying, here's some magic gobbledygook. And I'm like, sure, we need a nerd, but it's magic, we don't need a nerd. Oh man, it's so bad. Not so bad, it's more it could be better. Yeah, Persephone is really, really thickly used in this area. I don't know why, she just is. I like her though. It's an interesting enemy. Especially the vacuum, which is going to be hilarious in Dawn of Sorrow and Area of Sorrow, where it's one of my favorite attacks because it heals you. Yeah, I think I'm gearing up for the boss here. The boss is a jar of slime that has 666 health, because why not? Charlotte! Why do they call each other's names out anyway? It's very obvious to me who it is. There's an indicator at the top of the bottom screen. The entire top screen tells me who's present. Why do you tell me who's present? Do I need to know? Is there not enough indicators already telling me? I don't know. Anyway, this boss does absolutely jack shit until you attack the pot and force it out. You want to push it over here because then you can stand on the platform and attack a little bit easier. You could just push it in front of the platform and then have more space, but this is fine. I prefer having everything on one side because it's a little bit easier. So then Keremet comes out and he's like, "Hey man, hey." He's weak to, you know, element stuff because he's a big pot of doofus. But you need to hit his face, and it only hurts when his face is present, and his face is only present when he does a stupid magic spell. So stand on the middle platform and then attack him. You know, things will eventually work out in some way. In fact, this boss fight went really smooth. Even Jonathan didn't get hit, and the AI usually gets hit a bunch. See? I think Jonathan got those 50 points on his shuriken. I hope so. Because 50 SP is a lot to waste. But yeah, he doesn't have any strengths, which is kind of weird. It makes Keremet... I said Keremet. Whatever. Keremet, actually. Anyway, we get a double jump, even though we already have the capacity to jump on our friend's shoulder. Now we also get a double jump, which is, to me is like, okay. So you're giving us a triple jump for some reason? You're really pushing it, game. Or they put in a double jump and later added the shoulder jump technique, and they thought, you know what, let's give the shoulder jump first because it's a little bit more complicated and they'll get used to it and use it a bit silly. Yeah, I decided to go a bit further, mostly to pick up some quests and do some stuff. Oh, you can hear that. Yeah. Anyway, it's great armor. Who is actually pretty damn big. I'll give him that. He's great. I hate these guys. Mostly because they have a laser that is way too telling of what their attack's going to be. Generally, you just stay away and then you attack them. You kill them before they do anything most of the time. Goggles, pretty good defensive item, but I think I'm going to stick with the bandana. And again, actually wouldn't have been too much of a bother to turn it on. Oh, that's fun. Crack just updated. Oh yeah, I think we're soon gonna come up to an area where Persephone, for some reason, is cleaning up these dusty bones. This, by the way, is a crocodile clamp-like thing that you use to keep bags shut and fresh. Yay! I thought it was an equipment item, and it's actually an edible thing, I think. I don't know what is with Dracula and keeping food in walls. No, I don't know, that was the bathrobe. But yeah, he still keeps food in walls a lot. If I had just stopped at that boss, this video would have been a lot shorter. And now we warp to get some quests done. Alarko basically tells us of two enemies that we haven't even seen any ghosts or any hill guards. We don't know where to find either of them, and it already tells us a whole bunch about the next area we're going to. I'm reading this cracked stuff, and if you've never heard of it, there's a ridiculous Peter Parker Spider-Man comic where he makes a deal with the devil where he gives his aunt more time because she's about to die. In return, he erases his marriage. So he gives the devil his marriage so that his already old and decrepit aunt can live a few more days. It's such a bad thing that if you talk to anyone who reads comic books regularly, they're like, Jesus fucking Christ, why did they make that story? In fact, even Linkara brings it up. Now, I'm not a comic book reader, but, you know, if Linkara brings it up, you know what's up. Anyway, Sandy Desert. Takes place in the desert, then immediately goes into a temple. But I decided to go a little bit further because we're going to go into a sandworm. You know, because sandworms tend to have tummies. Rumblies in her tumblies. I like to think it's a she because she has table manners. Anyways, yeah, you've got skeletons on wheels because someone likes Berserk a lot. Someone just can't stop watching Berserk, I guess. They hired Miyazaki for that one. I'm not fucking kidding. Miyazaki loves himself some Berserk. Which is why apparently he references it a lot. I don't even know what Berserk is, just that he references it. Anyway, this fist thing works really well in these Zimbambos. I like how the pyramid is 3D, but so far in the background you barely notice. That is a nice detail. Anyways, this big fat worm, he's like, roar. Also, why isn't the enemy name at the top revealed if I can already tell the enemy name by just punching him a bunch, you know? Because I do have that power, right? Like what just tells you the name when you hit something? I don't know. We'll see. Yeah, you go down here and you get some health upgrades. That's pretty nice. It's a nice deal for the Mario trick. Anyway, we're almost at the end of the video. I hope you all enjoyed the video. If you did, yeah! If you didn't, oh, now I'm a sad banana. I hope you're proud of making me a sad banana. I'm gonna eat myself. Aha! Yeah, see the name. Blah 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 boo bye.